the ones we're going to look at, along the top here, a lot of these disregard, but this one in the middle is the 1001 bit toolbar. If you've got extensions, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I can't find. Oh yeah, 1001 tool bits right at the top there, and you can come across. You can manage your toolbars, so you can actually put stuff in you want, take stuff out you don't want. So I've done mine, so it's stuff that I use, but you can have all this in, and it will go right the way across the top there. So it is a. If you come down, it all setting out. It just gives you all the different. And what they've done is they've got small plugins from lots of different developers and put it into one toolbar. So all these are made by, not all made by different people, but there is various people who have contributed to it. So it's a cracking toolbar. So what I decided was the first one we'll look at, a roof. So I drew a plan. It's only a floor plan, just a mess about. Now, it's quite a technical floor plan. Now, to make a roof of it is not easy. But with the plug-in, so we've got the floor plan, and up the top here, and we can do automatically create hip roof from face. So if you select the face, and then we select the plug-in, and here we go. And all it basically got is two things. The pitch will go for 30 degrees, and the roof overhang, how much it overhangs over the edge. And we'll change that. And as you click on some of these, it actually gives you dimensions. So if we click on the top, it will tell you the angle of the roof, 30 degrees. And if we click on the overhang, the B, it will tell you what it is. So we'll change that to a 0.2. We don't need that much. And we've clicked on there, we just create hip roof. Now, what it's done is created your roof for you. And that is as easy as that. So if you've got a very complicated roof that you want roofing, basically, that is it. And what you can do, I think I showed it last time, if we copy that and we do an edit and a paste in place, so there's another copy on top, and we'll right click and explode it. Let's should have exploded. Oh, I think it's exploding. It should explode. There we go. So now we've got separate faces. And I did show before where you can select the face, select the bottom edge, and use OOB to come in. I mean, I've set my presets up here, and we'll just go for a tile offset. And there we go. And I'll select this edge here. Not sure how it's going to perform, but there you go. You have to select the bottom edge, and that's it. And you can go around. Now, the front here, because I drew the circle and it with that many segments, it is divided into that many segments. So if you did come in and click on there, it might, well, we'll see what happens. Oh, it's going around. So yeah, it's not doing a great job, but you could probably clad this in a different type of material. But you can see how easy and quick you can make a roof, and then put that on the printer, FDM printer, and you can print that in one piece, sand it back with 40 grit abrasive, and it comes up a treat. I've done a lot of these, and they come up a treat. It's as easy as that. So that'll be roofs. And we've got another one. We've got rafters. Now, I would have shown you rafters on this one, but because it's so complicated, it does take a little time for it to calculate it. It's doable, but it's easier if I show you on a plain one. So we've got another floor plan, and then we'll go to the roof, and we use the same settings. It does save the same settings you used last time, and create a hip roof. And then we'll come in, and then along the top there, we've got create roof, rafters and battens and purlins, all from this diagram. So, right, what you've got to do though is build battens and purlins. We won't do that. We'll just build the rafters. So if you click on, and it'll give you the first one is RW, which is the rafter width. We'll put port 1 as a 1 mil. Depth, we'll give it. These are only guesstimates. Spacings, 6 mil. Purlins, and we'll try it. Now, did we have to? I think we had to explode the group and select all the faces and have another go. Perhaps I didn't do the right thing. And there we go. And what it's done there, it's cut all your timbers at the right angles. It's even filled in. This must have been wider because we told it 600, didn't we? Some reason oh yeah, because it's put in there, one in the middle there. And it's a proper job on a roof. If you was building a roof, you'd be quite happy if you designed it like that. And it's all done in no time at all. You do a Control Z, it does seem to want to go back. Well, we delete that one and we'll start again. We'll put a roof on and we'll try it with the purlins this time. Hit roof, triple click, so we open the group and we select all the faces and we'll come in and we'll click this button, build battens and purlins as well. So there we go. Half a mil, and 3 mil spacing. Well, you can give it a go. And there you go. So not only you got your rafters, you got your purlins to hang your tiles on. All cut. So that saves you a big old job. Now, if you was going to model, we'll do I did try this earlier. So we delete this. We'll come in, we'll make a roof. And then we'll automatically, won't put the purlins, we'll just put the rafters on. Didn't open it. Triple click, make sure it's all selected. And what I done was I clicked on this. I deleted the stuff underneath, I think. Yeah. So on the roof, I exported the STL. What we got there? Let's have a test. I've got a test there. And if we open up this slicer of choice, and we're open, well, I think what I didn't delete was the bottom bit there. So if we right click and fix through NetFab, yeah, there we go. Let's give you rafters, and that won't FDM print, but you could slice it to FDM print it, but that will resin print. So you could put that as a work in progress on you. Take some of these rafters out, have someone roofing a building. It's quite doable. So that's your roof and your tiles, your rafters and your purlins, floor joists. Now, it's another thing. So we click on the face and we'll come along top on the 1001 bit, create rafters, floor joists on selected faces. So we click on, and there's not much here. It will do the rafters on a roof, but it will just do the rafters. It won't join it up, make a good job of it. Just the rafters going up and down. So, but if you want them on the floor, so we've got rafter width, we'll keep it as standard, and then we'll create rafters. Oh, and I forgot this one. So you click on create rafters. It will come up with a cross. It wants to know which way you want to go, top to bottom, left to right. So we'll go top to bottom. Yeah, it does snap to grid. And there we go. And it'll put floor rafters in, or floor joists, and it's just that easy. I mean, delete that. And what you could do, if you want to make a proper job of it, because divide this room into certain, proper areas. So you got separate rooms within there. Come to this room, we'll put some rafters in. There we go, put some in there. We'll come in this room. We could have them running the other way. Top, bottom. And that's the sort of thing you can design if you need it in your buildings. You could have perhaps the start of a building and have these floors. But I'm saying that's just the 3 top plugins. So create hip roof, purlins, rafters, ridges, and joists. So we're back on the same thing, and we'll go for a window. Square windows, easy peasy. Well, what we need here will be a round window here. So what we need to do is find the length of this. If you can see, that's the blue line. That is the curve, basically. And if you come to entry info on the right-hand side, phone's bleeping away, it'll tell you the information on there. It's a radius of 1.4. There's 12 segments. Now, you can go, if you want a tighter curve, you can go smaller. This is for demo. And this is the important one. The length is 4.4 meters. So what we need to do is draw a square in front, and not on the blue axis, but we want to stand it up. So we'll tab green, and we'll start drawing up, and then we'll put our dimensions in. Bottom right-hand corner. So we want 4.4, and we'll do it 2 meters high. So there we go. So in theory, this will wrap around this curve. So what we need to do is double click, right click, make it a group. And then we'll go up to our plugin, our 1001 bit, and to go along, divide selected face into panels, basically window. And then it comes up with your panel dimensions, basically. So the first one is rows, so how many divides? So we'll go for, let's go for 6. It's 2 meters high, so 6 panels. And we'll probably double that for the width. We can always try. And we'll go for 12 columns. Frame depth, I normally go for 1 mil to 0.1. Frame width, same thing, 0.1. The recessed bevel, leave that, it doesn't matter. And recessed bevel extrusion, leave that. This is the important one. Divider width is 0.03, put it as 0.05, so that's half the mil. Create front, back, middle, makes no odds. Create window, and then you'll come up with a little square on the front of there, and then we've got our window. So, one thing you have to do is get rid of the glass. So if you click on it, it is a group, and it's selected everything. Double click, and then we'll select, all we've selected now is the glass. So if we delete that, we've taken all the glass out. So all we're left is a window frame. The glass will just throw up errors when you go to in your slicer. So now we want to curve that around that frame there. So first thing we want to do is make sure our axis, this is an important one, this one, is right. So if we click on this, double click, I don't know if you can see, but the blue axis is running from front to back. That's no good. We want the blue axis up we want it how the model is. So what we need to do is, on the left-hand side, we'll come down and there's the axis button. If you click on it, and then we'll go to the corner, and we'll click on the corner. And the first one it wants to tell, first axis it needs is the red axis. Now the red axis, the way I've laid the window out, will go from left to right. So if we just go along the right and click, that's, oh, we'll do that again. That's gone along the red axis. Then it'll ask us for the green. If you look, it's going right, down, left, or whatever. We want to go for the left. And then it automatically put the blue axis going up. So we're in the same axis now as the world axis. So if we click away from it, we know now that this is all running right. So we've got another plug-in here, which is called True Bend. Magic little piece of equipment. Click on, and there we go. And we've got lots of little dots at the bottom and an arrow in the middle. And it's the arrow you click on, and then you pull or you push, and it will curve it to what you like. You can do a 360, whatever angle you want. So we want to go for 180. So if you pull it to the direction you want and just tap 180, it brings it up at the angle at the bottom. Press enter and press enter again. And there we go. It's curved your window for you. The frame bit, you can click on and delete. We don't need it. So on the window, we need to rotate it and put it on here. So if we click on the move tool, if you look on the top, you'll get the plus signs. Now you can move it, but also you can rotate it by using one of the plus signs. Click on and bring your protractor up, bring it round, and if you look at the angle, 0, there we go, we've rotated it. Now what I need to do is put this on the front of the building, find the middle, press the up arrow, so we're moving it up now, and then find the middle of the building there, and then press up the up arrow again. And we couldn't have got the right one because it's moved. It's not moved it in the right place. Easily sorted. Click on an edge, go on the green axis. Nowhere near, was I? There we go. So that could be your roof. And then we can go inside, and then you've got a perfectly good bay window. And if you wanted more windows, it's as easy as, right, one window next to it, on the corner, and on the front there. That's better. So we're lined up now. Right click, reverse face, double click, right click, and make that a group. Now we'll go to our window plugin again, divide selective face into panels. It takes note of the one before, but we don't want it 12. We'll have 6 rows the same to match up, but we'll do, say, 5, and we'll see what it looks like. It's small. To do Control Z, have another go. Here we go. We'll change that to 4. Create window. And that looks a bit better. Double click, click on the glass and delete. Delete the glass. For some reason. Do lots of glass there. Well, if we hide that, I don't know why, some reason. Let's put 2 lots of glass there. So what we'll do is we'll do a Control Z. No idea why I've done that, but what we can do is take this window, double click, right click, make a group, and just move it away. Move it along the red, and then try it away. For some reason, so putting two lots of glass in. You've got to go around and delete every pane if you do it, and it's a pain. We'll get there. But for some reason, it's putting two lots of glass in. But what you can do is, not the best job in the world, but for some reason it didn't like that. Or you could always go Control, click them all. I've no idea why it done that, but that's the joys of programs. Right, so we'll click on and we'll put it back in place anyway. There we go. So you get the idea of glazing, how easy it is, and this will print in resin printing lovely. Now I printed one very similar to this. Okay, I can actually show you. If we do a file export STL for this one, now we go into test 2, yes, and we'll bring up Tutu box. Always brings your last object in, and we'll import, and we'll come to that test 2. Now it needs scaling up, it is there. So we go to scale, and the percentage, want to change the 100 to 1,000. Right, so click on the object. If we go to scale, change the percentage there 100, stick a 0 on the end, and there we go. Now, go to your supports, and I have mine at 70%. You click on the platform, and what I would do is add more to this. But that will print quite happily. I'd stick a few more on the bottom there. Make sure the ends are covered, because that's where they tend to drift apart. And now that will print upright like that. Does on my printer quite happily. So this is my part of my back scene for my layout, and I've got a whole row of different buildings. These are FDM printed. Everything you see on here is FDM. So that's using the OOB. Yeah, I can't zoom in too much because I crunch these pictures down so they don't zoom in so well. But yeah, it's all done FDM. And these were my first FDM prints as well, believe it or not. So this is what I started off at. And I've started to detail the back of it. And this is the same building now with a bit more detail. So the one thing I did look at, I'll show you that first, I think. Where is it? I can never find anything, can you, when you're looking? Bear with me. There we go. This is a London docks, and these are volunteers, believe it or not. It was in the general strike back in the day. But what I looked at was there's all this pipe work, which you don't really notice. But there's pipes here. They're everywhere, big fat pipes running up and down the buildings, across buildings. These little crane things here as well. The drop-down plates here. There's so much in here. I thought, yeah, that's me. And there's even, if you look in the back there, there's even bigger cranes doing the same sort of thing. And they're unloading, I think it's fresh Danish eggs. So there you go, all voluntary. And when people say, oh, that crane's not prototypical, it wouldn't happen. I mean, someone put that's the cab of it, but that must have been a crane up there. Now, I mean, this is the sort of thing I like, this sort of small. Anyway, I digress. So this is one of the back scene, and I thought I'd have a go. And we've got a few pigeons, everywhere on the layout. And this pipe work is quite easy. So the long bits, the main bit pipes is dowel, wooden dowel. I don't know where I got it from, a big bundle of it. And the smaller bits are bits of wire, what you used to get the wire, wire potato sack, the top of potato sacks. Had a big bundle of that. So, and that's for the corner bits. And what I'd done was, I just made the joints. So the brackets, the T's, you know, the bits going in. It's just, I thought, yeah, why not? I'd say this, I decided to do a meeting or whatever, all looking down on something, so I'll have to put something on the bottom. But I thought it actually broke the building up. It hides the joins between the separate parts, so that's another good thing. But yeah, even small little bits like here with the pipes. Who's to say there wasn't some there? Don't know where they're going. So little cameos, little man climbing the ladder there. It helps break the building up from what it was at the beginning. So in SketchUp again, the rod was 4mm, I think. So right, draw a circle right in the origin along the red axis. So with 4mm, so it's 0.2. And that'll give me a 4mm inside. We'll click on the circle, we come up to the entry info, tells you there, radius 0.2, and the segments, up the segments to 40, and gives you a bit of a smoother curve. And then what you need to do is go to the left and the offset tool, click on the edge and pull out the offset. 0.05, that's 0.5 mil. Sounds good to me. So what we do is highlight all that, move tool, click on, click the right arrow to keep it on the red axis, and a control, and it'll duplicate it along the red axis. Just give us a spare one there in case in case I mess up. So these actually, we should have reversed the faces on these. So we've got the white faces facing out. Right click, reverse face. Delete the middle one. Now this is going to be the thickness of our pipe, so it's 0.5 mil thick. What I need now is a guideline, so I'll get the tape measure from the centre, because the overall height of I'm doing a T, by the way, a T joint. So the overall height is going to be 10 to 11 mil. So if I click on the centre and draw it along the red axis, so it'll be halfway, so the centre of it will be so a bit 0.5, just for demo's sake. So we've got a guideline here, it's 5 mil long. We'll come over to the left and we'll use our pie tool. Now, what we want is we don't want it flat, we want it upright. So if you press the left arrow, changes it to the green one. Click on the end of the point we made, and then go to the centre, or actually press the red, and that'll constrain it. You can't go off centre then, and it'll click to the origin. So we click there, and what we do is we start drawing our arc. Now, choice, you know, you can have whatever you like. Yeah, we'll do a 90-degree elbow, so we tap in 90, bottom right-hand corner, 90, or press enter. So we know that's going to sweep round. So what we need to do is come in and delete some of these lines we don't need. Bottom line there, there is one dividing this circle, delete that one, delete that one. So what we need to do then is make this ring follow there, hopefully give us a pipe. So what we need to do is click on this swept curve, and then we go to the left, and there's a tool there on the left, follow me. Click on the follow me, and then you click on that blue line, and then we got a curve. Now, point being, this isn't right, because if you look at it, it's followed the curve, and that last section may look straight, but it's not. If you look at that now, front on, let's look at it front on. Somewhere. You can see it's at an angle. So we do a Control Z. There's an easy way around that. Excuse me. We'll click on the line, and what we'll do is we'll draw a straight line. We'll get a pencil, and then we'll go along the red axis. So it changes red. 0.1. Enter. And then we'll come to the middle, and we'll go on the blue axis. So we press the up arrow, constrain it to the blue, and then we'll do a 0.1. So now what we've got is this small section. Excuse me 1 minute. Frog. The middle section and the end section. Now if we click on all three, or we click on the end, do a Control, click on, and a Control. So we've highlighted all three sections. Up to the top, there's a plug-in. John will put a link into this one. I'm not sure what it's called, this one, but it's called Super Weld. So we'll weld it together. So it is now one line. So what you need to do is click on the line, click on the Follow Me tool, and then now that's Follow Me, and that is straight out the end of the line. So what we need to do is highlight it, right click and reverse the faces. But now if I click on this front edge and pull it out, and click on the bottom edge, that'll be a right angle. So that's what we need. So yep, we're good with that. So we'll triple click this object, right click, make a group. Right click, make a group. And then we'll right click. Actually, what we'll do is, see this ring at the bottom, we'll double click the group to open it, click on the ring, and we copy it. Then we'll click on this object, right click, and we'll hide it. And then we'll do an edit, paste in place. So we know that's the diameter of the post. Now, we don't want this one, but what we can still use it because it's bang in the center. So if we come up to the extensions, and what we do is we explode that curve. So now it's all in different sections. So what we need to do is go up, say one section, not the bottom one, the next one up, and delete it. There is now a gap between the bottom one and the main curve. So if we triple click on that, it will select all that curve, and we delete it. We don't need it. So what we need to do now is click on this, on the pencil, on the end of that tab we left behind, go up, press the up key, keep it to the blue arrow, and type in 10 mil. It's the same again. At the bottom, we've got the loose bit, and then we've got the other bit. So click on the bottom, do a Control, click on the up, and then weld it together with Super Weld. So it's one item. Click on the item, the line going up, Follow Me tool, and then we click on there. And then we've got our up pipe. So if we highlight this, right click, and there is a soften smooth edges. Do that and it just softens the edges for you. Triple click, right click, make a group. If we do an edit and we unhide the one we hid, there we go, we've got our T-piece. Now, you can explode this, join it, intersect it, because at the moment there's no hole in it. But the way I'm designing this is to push a rod inside. And I found that leaving that piece in the middle actually strengthened it in there. So you can come in, intersect it, take bits out, but really there's no need. It's unless you're going to use it to look through. But if you're going to stick a pipe in the end, you'll never know. So now we've got two bits. Right, what we need is a collar to go on there. So we've got our original, and we know that's the outside wall. Let's delete the mid. We'll duplicate that, just in case. Do a control along the red. That wasn't far enough, was it? Move it along the red. Good. So we'll come in, we'll delete the middle bit, but then we want to make a collar. So we know this is the thickness of our pipe. We get the offset tool and we click on the edge and we come along and we now do another, say 0.5, no, 0.1. Too much? 0.5. Look, I know 5. Yeah, that's probably better. Right, and then what we do is take that middle ring out, delete, and this will be our collar. So if we pull that up, sorry, push pull tool on the left there. I must explain myself. Push pull tool, and then just pull it up. So 1 mil, 0.1, 1 mil. And then what we need to do is triple click to make a to select all, right click, and we'll make a group. Yep, and we'll use that as our collar. What they do is put this on top of there. Sometimes, if you're clever, you can get it there in the middle, click on, press the up arrow, so we're going up, and then click on there, edge, and press the up arrow again, and if you're clever, it worked. It actually lines up perfectly. So now we've got our collar top. We click on the collar. Oh, I just moved that. Click on the collar. Yeah, don't move. Do a control along the Z axis with the up arrow, and we duplicate it, come down. Same again, click on the edge, just go up until you meet. There we go. And that's perfectly lined up. So now we've got that. So we want one on this end. Easy way to do it is control along the red axis. And do like I said before, if you hover over it, one of the crosses will bring up a protractor tool. Bring it round, angle 0, they'll be straight. Same again. See if we can get it spot on this time. Pick the middle. Up arrow. To there. And, ooh, good shot. There we go. So basically that is an elbow. So we've got 3 different parts, which is worth keeping separate, because if you want to make other stuff, it's all there. And what you can do is click on the right angle and then click on the collar. And then in 2 bits, right click and make it a group. So now what you can do is come in the bottom. We've got our line that we drew from earlier, which we know is dead straight up the middle. So if you come with a protractor tool, actually first thing we'll click on that collar and an elbow and the sweep there. Go on the protractor tool, find that line and put your protractor on it and press the blue, which is the up arrow. Yeah. And then what we need to do is click on and we'll find the end there. You can see it changes. Should change. It's a bit awkward because it's from a distance, but I think that's it there. Then what we do is control, and then we can move it round. So if we move it at 90, there, and it's got angle, you can type the angle in, but we're actually on 90. Click on, and then do the star to times 3, enter, and there we go. We've got a 3-way blueberry for our pipes. Now, highlight the whole thing, click on, control along the red axis, times 3. There we go. So what you can do now is delete that. You've got a 3-way. Delete them 2. Or, no, we've got that one, haven't we? You get the idea. You can duplicate that and make what combination you like just from the one angle. And then these do print. I will show you. I haven't set up already. If I open there, my detailing, where is it? Drain pipes large. So what I've done is I've got different ones set up here, plain, straight, curved, and they're pre-supported as well. So there we go. What we've got. There's that window down there. We'll get rid of that.
We'll just minimise like we had.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just as you said that, John. Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah, spot on, mate.
Yep. So there is a pre-supported. I just done a left and a right. And those supports come off very easy. Print these off. I normally print, say, 10, 20 of them, one go. If you press copy, get a load of them, and say, arrange to the X side, take that one out, a bit close to the edge, take that out, select all, there we go. Put your next slot in, fill your bed up, always fill your bed up with resin print, and even if you chuck the sacks on or something, because it takes the same amount of time to print one of these as it does a whole bed. So it's not like FDM. So, yeah, that's my little spill. So I needed a crane for the top of one of the back seam. I couldn't fit wall cranes in. So, and these loading bays wouldn't be able to get anything lifted up. So I just thought, oh, why not? So I just did a little bit of push-pull in SketchUp and decided this was going to be my little crane. And there's a couple of motors there turning this cog, which makes it go up and down. And there's motors housed in here. In theory, this is all play. And then we've got underneath, we've got a small cog there, turning the big cog, which turns it all round. Now, I didn't do this intentionally. I just, oh yeah, that does it. And it actually works. It actually turns it round. And I thought, oh. So, yeah, just by chucking a few cogs in, I mean, I didn't even space these properly. I just put them in, hoping. But, yeah, a little generator on the back, running it all, little cabin. I FDM printed the cabin because I like the way the walls come out, nice and rough. If you do resin, the walls, they are perfect. And I don't really like perfect. I FDM printed these. These print nice as well, FDM printed in sections, flat on the deck. And there's that cage that I printed, very similar to what I showed earlier. and I printed it upright. Not with it. The roof and the floor was FDM printed. I just printed the cage in G2 box. I put a hole in the bottom bit so the man could look through, see underneath. I don't know where. Let's have a look inside. It's a bit dangerous going inside the model because sometimes you just disappear into the roof like that. Sometimes you can get inside. So we'll look through the window. There we go. There we go. So I got my man in there. I just put a control panel. I had one of these on the truck crane. I did duplicate that. Give him a couple of levers. I mean, the man there's it's not 3D anyway. It just faces you whenever you turn. So it actually don't line up too great on the corners there. There's one of them. That'll do. And yeah, that's another plug-in. We'll draw a square. Any old square. Right-click, reverse face. Up the top here, we've got 1001. Create grills, gratings, and perforated screens. This is what you get come up. It's not a lot to put in here. You've got opening width and opening height. You can change them, but we'll go for 3 mil, so 0.3, 0.3, so that'll be 3 mil, and it does give you the, there we go, W, width, H, height, there. And then column spacing, so that's these between our thick. So what you want to do is say 0.05, half a mil, and then 0.05. Angle, do a 45 degrees. Yeah, front, back, sit up. Anyway, we can do that. And there we go. And it's as easy as that. And that was replaced that other one. And that's a grill that will print off nice. FDM print these as well, because if they're, sometimes it's better to go thickness of these to 0.4, which is 1 nozzle width. So you get nice fine lines. If you go at 0.6, I think it does 2 lines, so it's not so neat. But if you did want a nice thin grill, go 0.4. We'll see what it's like. Let's put this in export. We'll have a look. See what it comes out like. What size is it? So, and that's our grill. And if we slice that, there we go. Oh, right, it's 1 layer. That's 1 pass with a nozzle. So you'll get a nice, that's half a mil. So you will get nice lines on this, and they're half a mil thick, wide. So yeah, it comes out nice. As long as your bed's level, first layer lays down, and that sort of grill will come out nice. Now, really, if you're going to do that, you want to put an offsetter. You can do it now, actually. Put a square offset the edge, so 0.2. And delete the grill. Reverse that face, and then you can push. I mean, we could have done this on the original one, I didn't. And you just put it down and reference on the front. You know, you got a nice grill. And you can do it any size you want. This is the good thing about it. You've got 5 different panels, you know, all different things. What is it? Grill. That one there. And do it again. Grill. Same profile, different shape. Yep. Easy as that. Really is.
Nice one, Ed. Cheers.
You might as well see the Louvre one because that's also a good one. Same thing, draw a rectangle, and then we've got vertical loops, horizontal loops. Got a horizontal. Louver depth, louver thickness, we'll go for 0.5, 0.05, and louver spacing, and a louver angle. We'll try it. There you go. That's the same thing. If you put a frame around that, you can actually FDM print these, yeah, to get a decent grill. I'll show you because I've actually vaccine one of the buildings. Yeah, this one. Now, if you look at the back there, these bits on the top are FDM printed using that Louvre technique. So these ones are a bit, I don't make them proud enough. These are a bit prouder. I might actually stuck these on top